LGBT.
I've heard of them.
Delete that question. Yeah. Hello everyone, welcome to a very special episode of Prime Video Anime Club. I'm your host, Miles J today, and we have two very special guests here. So please give them a warm welcome. Joshua.
Hi guys, my name is Joshua David King. I am a voice actor, artist, entertainer. It's a lot of stuff, the list goes on. There's too much to mention here. But I am proud to be here, proud for Pride.
Lily is also joining us today. Say hello.
Hi, I'm Lily Emile Lammers, and I'm a voice actor and probably other things. Most recently, I play Ash in Fire Emblem Heroes. I said I'm proud in the last take, and Josh took it from me. I am proud to be here, not pleasure. Proud. Just want to put it out there that was my idea.
It was his idea at first. I'm sorry. I completely stole that. I thought it was very clever. Do you forgive me?
Maybe.
Okay, thank you.
But I'm very proud to be here, even prouder to be here.
Yes.
We have 3 anime titles on Amazon Prime Video that focus on LGBT.
I've heard of them.
What's LGBT?
Well, LGBT stands for lesbian, gay, bisexual, and trans. Do you remember how you guys got into GL or BL? Like, what broke you into it? Like, who told you about it? Was it something that you discovered on your own?
I mean, you know when you're 13 or 14 and you watch Italia?
Oh my gosh.
I'm not really into that anymore, but I was 14.
So they used to have these long like doujinshi videos on YouTube that were like split into parts. They'd have like some random music on it, and that was my kind of introduction to BL. Just these random FMA One Piece doujinshis that I didn't even watch the show, but I found out about these odd pairings through these YouTube videos. It's pretty classic, very 2010s core.
I was watching The Melancholy of Haruhi Suzumiya, and then I saw the other show and thought, this show's got a Haruhi too.
Exactly.
So, moving right on to our next topic, students.
Pop quiz.
Yes, get ready, okay? Our first category is going to be for banana fish. What is the name of the gang Ash is in? The Sharks, the Bloods, the Kickers, or they don't have a name? 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Joshua.
I don't think they have a name. I was just
They
watching
don't,
it.
I know.
Okay, all right.
Because they call it Ash's Gang.
Right, okay.
They do not. That is correct.
They're not from West Side Story.
Yeah, that was just throw you for a loop.
Okay.
But it was a really easy question.
Oh.
Yeah. Next question. When is the one and only time Ash kisses AG? After a fabulous night out, while trying to smuggle goods in prison, during a heist, or at their wedding? 1, 2, 3.
While trying to smuggle goods.
Drugs.
Before you even said that, I just said in jail.
Yeah, that's in jail, in that waiting room. I was like, whoa, what's going on here?
If y'all have not seen this anime, y'all are probably like, what? But also tread with caution because
There's a lot going on.
there is. Check it out now on Prime Video. What era is Banana Fish supposed to be in? The 1920s, 1980s, 1990s, or 1950s?
The manga is set in the 1980s, but the anime is set in 2010s.
Is it really?
Yeah.
Oh, delete that question. We're moving categories now. Hitori Jime, my hero. Why is the love between these characters forbidden? 1, they're gay. 2,
That one.
the age gap. 3, one is a teacher. 4, the teacher is a gangster. 1, 2, 3.
All except the last one.
That's true because
He beats up gangsters.
I'd say, yeah.
Correct. You're correct. Moving on to our next category, the classic Gaku in Heaven. Who is the main character attending BL Academy? Keita Ito, Aoba Saragaki, Misaki Takahashi, or Yuri Katsuki?
Keita.
Got it.
You said the same thing I heard.
I did, thank you.
Have you guys personally seen Gaku in Heaven?
I haven't.
It is actually based off of a video game.
Is it?
It is. It's camp.
Good.
What more do you need?
It's camp. Watch it now on Prime Video. Moving on to our next category, Land of the Lustrous. What gender are the gems from Land of the Lustrous? Female, male, they're genderless, or non-binary?
Genderless?
Genderless.
That
There
is correct. I would also accept non-binary.
I feel like we haven't asked them.
Right? We haven't.
How do you identify as?
Yeah.
Do you identify as non-binary? Or is it giving genderless?
Who hunts the gems and why? Tanjiro to save his sister? Zuko to defend his family and his family's honor? The Lunarians to wear as jewelry? Or Sonic to go even faster?
Has to be Sonic.
Sonic?
The Lunarians.
The Lunarians. You are correct again, Lily.
It's because I'm boss boy.
Straight into our next category after that last question. Love and Lies. What is the queer character's name in Love and Lies? Yusuke, Yasuke, Yesuke, or Yosuke? Yasuke.
I wrote Yusuke, but I spelled it like you, like Y-O.
Oh, you?
I was thinking either Yusuke or Yosuke.
Yeah, I think it's Yusuke.
It's
Yes,
Yusuke.
that's
Okay.
correct.
But I decided that Yusuke are gay.
Yusuke are gay.
Who does Yusuke have a crush on? Setsuna, Ririna, Yukari, or Stacy's mom?
Ririna.
Ririna. It's Yukari.
Damn.
Does Yukari reciprocate Yusuke's feelings? Maybe. No. Yes, but he can't because he's scared. Yes, and they live happily ever after.
Yes, but he's scared.
No.
You are correct, Joshua. No.
He says, I love you as a friend, but we can never do this. And you know that. I'm paraphrasing. I don't know if that's really what happened, but that's always what happens. Don't crush on your straight friends. It'll always end the same.
All right, and that's the end of our questions. Could you guys please pass your papers to me, please, for grading?
I didn't write that.
And yeah.
Oh, I see, yes. Both get a heart and a star.
So I pass.
Yes! Yay! That's the flying colors! What do you guys think are the differences between GL and BL in your own personal opinion?
I feel like it's really changing nowadays too because what the genre is becoming, but like there are similarities, like you get that always the student goes to the all gender high school.
Yes. All the time. All the time.
One of the things I noticed is that there was a lot of mafia influence in the ones we were watching, like in Hidori My Hero and in Banana Fish, of course.
Yeah.
I'm like, where's the Yuri Mafia?
Yeah, I feel like a lot of the times in BL, when they get to like the semi or like the more aggressive one of the relationship, a lot of times it's illustrated that he's like the tough guy and he can do this and he can fight this person. And I feel like that's a lot too, for me, I always see it as like they're trying to kind of prove which one is the more masculine in the whole like dynamic. So I do notice that a lot in like classic like yaoi BL tropes.
There's a man and a woman.
Exactly.
Yeah, well that's true in Yuri as well, but they establish masculinity in a different way. In
Right.
Yuri, they'll be like, she plays sports.
Right. Exactly.
I'm like, maybe the mafia guy should go play sports. I think it's also like a way of illustrating the other character entering a new world without,
true,
like,
that's true.
like in Banana Fish, because they're not like outright kissing all the time, but he's
Exactly.
entering this new world he's never been in.
Right, exactly. Because you take one that's very like straight-laced and like, I'm always by the book and I'll never go against that. And they meet this person that's like very wild and rambunctious and what's going on over here? So
social
it can,
norms.
exactly. So it can illustrate that too, where it's like, this is different. This is new for me.
There's guns and alcohol. That's what gay people are about.
Be gay, do crimes.
Meanwhile, the girls are like, you guys heard about basketball?
Banana Fish we talked about earlier.
Yes.
The reason I really like that anime, whether it's, you know, sometimes a debate of if it's a BL or not, the reason I like it is because it's a very by the book story. It's a very like gang story that happens to have a queer romance. And I love that we're getting towards that because it's really normalizing queer relationships. And that's really what I think the goal is.
And the queer romance isn't the most important
Exactly.
thing.
Yeah.
There's other things going on.
There's a lot of things going on.
Too much.
A lot of in Yuri, it started out like for women, by women. It was sort of this idea that it was acceptable when you were in high school or middle school and you would grow out of it and find a husband. And that's why so much of it is set in high school, middle school. And I
Right.
wasn't sure if that's the same in Yaoi. It seems like it's half and half.
With a lot of BL, it does that where they're in high school. They'll kind of come to these conclusions on their own and they'll seemingly, you know, be a couple and remain for the rest of the time a couple. But I did notice that in certain BL where they'll kind of come to this conclusion with themselves, like, I'm not this is just a phase. And although that was an unfortunate period of time in the genre, I feel like we're moving out of that. And I feel like that's a really great step to make.
Land of the Lustrous. Do you think that it's good that they're non-binary? Because I know a lot of people have been having conversations about that.
Well, we're both very versed on this topic. I think it's a great concept of having any show where you're playing with the outside the guidelines of gender. Because I feel like even in anime, we're talking about something that's made in Japan. This isn't even the US. So it's like a very different mindset when it comes to gender and gender roles, and it's very set in place like we have. So I feel like anything that challenges the binary of gender, especially in anime, and such a cool anime that's futuristic and CGI, I feel like it was really cool to do. It really allows you to have the full expression of everything, allow them to do things that wouldn't necessarily be seen as like feminine, or they shouldn't do this because it's more masculine. For me, it was awesome.
Then you also have the fact that it's a futuristic show and that they're supposed to be like the evolution of humanity or something. And they talk about how the gems are the bodies of the humans who've been left behind. And usually for us as humans, the body is such a gendered space that we gender very, very much. And we're like, the body is what's right all the time. And there's nothing you can gender about the gems' bodies, and they've evolved to this point where they're all the same, which there is some issues with that where it's like, yeah, I would love to see more diversity in that, but you know, it's fun.
It's fun, it's fun.
I have my fun.
One show can't be everything.
Exactly.
You know?
With the topic of what are the differences, what are the classic tropes, I feel like that's what it's about, is like forward motion in the genre itself.
Exactly.
And I feel like a lot of these shows are like really solid starts to what the genre could advance into. Like, I want to see a movie premiere for an anime like Jujutsu Kaisen that just happens to have a queer romance. You know, stuff like that. That's we're moving towards normalizing these sort of relationships, these sort of gender expressions in anime. I think that's really cool.
Yeah, and I feel like with that anime, there was a lot of question where people were like, what pronouns do you use for the characters? And then the fact that people have started being like, okay, it's they, them, we're doing that.
We're here, we exist.
We're gems.
We're gems!
I literally started watching it, didn't even think of my hair color, and I was like,
Oh my gosh, it's perfect.
I did not have phospholytin either.
You're like, happy accident.
Watch now on Prime Video, free with Prime. And as always, if you guys want to check out any of the anime we talked about in today's episode, make sure to check it out on Prime Video, free with Prime. It's been me, your host, Miles, here for Anime Club, and a very special thank you to our guests, Joshua and Lily, for joining us today in class. And until next time, see you later, everyone. Bye.
Bye.